Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. Hey guys, welcome back to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori. If you're new to our channel, I started a new series on Fridays of cooking with my cookbooks. And we looked through a lot of my old cookbooks that a lot of y'all have sent me, and then we usually do a recipe. Today, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be looking at some old cookbooks. They're really not cookbooks. They're the little pamphlets. We're going to be looking through them and talking about them and letting y'all look and see if y'all remember any of these. I love just to sit and talk to y'all anyways. I think I'm supposed to be looking over here. I can see my face. I'm looking right there, but I'm supposed to be looking over here, I think. But I want to show you all these pamphlets. These have been sent to me and over the several years. And when I get these, I think they just bring such joy to me because first thing I do is I go through them and see how old they are, what year they were printed or copyright or whatever. And, you know, how many times maybe they've been passed down and stuff like that. So these little pamphlets mean a lot to me. Do y'all remember back in the day when I had kids? I was a young mother and would go grocery shopping, and when you would check out at the grocery counter, there'd be a rack there that would have the pamphlets, the little pamphlets of just little cookbooks like this. And those, I would look at them sometimes if the line was long, I'd sit there and look through the whole thing while I was waiting in line. And if I had that little bit of extra money, I might would buy one. Because back in the day I couldn't afford big old nice cookbooks. But these little pamphlets that would be at the checkout counter, some of them I might could afford, and I'd pick one up or two every once in a while. So when I get these in the mail, it brings back those memories of just the simple times, even though, you know, every penny had to be counted, and it still does. And you know, I had to make menus and make lists, and I only bought what was on my list, and everything was just, I don't think I ever had a full tank of gas there for a long time, because, you know, we lived out in the hills with the kids out on a farm, and we didn't go town much. The kids rode the school bus to school. When they was little, there was time when I was able to stay home with them, and because of me staying home with them, we didn't have that extra income, which means there was really some really bad hard times, but we made it through it. But there was no money to buy cookbooks, and I absolutely loved cookbooks. And I remember going to my mother-in-law's house, and she had a few, and I'd sit down and look at her cookbooks. And I think my grandmother, I only remember her having one cookbook, and it was the big Betty Crocker cookbook. That was the only one I remember her having, and I would look through it. So as time went on, and I was able to maybe afford, you know, a cookbook here or there, and then most of them that I even buy today are from flea markets. You know, when I go into a flea market, that's the first thing I head to or look for is the book section. And not only for cookbooks, but for gardening books. I love gardening books, and I really love the old gardening books too. But I wanted to show you some of these pamphlets. So what I'll do is I'll get y'all down here where y'all can look, And some of y'all may recognize some of these, and some of them just may make you just, you know, chuckle at how old they are. And I just love them. And I'm sure a lot of y'all were like me. Y'all remember them pamphlets at the checkout counter, and maybe that's all you could afford too. And but I remember having several, and I remember a couple that I used so much that the pages were getting ripped out, and some of the pages were just gone because I had them so many years and used them recipes. But so I'm going to show y'all some of these pamphlets that have been sent to me, and I absolutely adore them. And I keep them in a special place so they don't get tore up. And this is not all of them. I have several more. But so cooking with my cookbooks is going to be about talking today and looking over some of these good old-fashioned, really old little cookbooks. Pamphlet cookbooks is what I call them. And we'll just be discussing them. If there's anything you want to talk about or share with me, just do it down in the comments. Because we try our best to get, I have so many comments and I want them to continue because we try so hard to get to all of them. There's some of them we don't get to, and I'm so sorry if we don't. But the comments, the thumbs up, and subscribing is what's going to keep us going. Because YouTube sees the comments, they want that, and they want to keep my algorithm going. So all this that you do to help me and Mr. Brown will keep us going on YouTube. So anyways, I'm going to bring y'all down here and we're going to talk about these little pamphlet cookbooks. The first one I want to show y'all, look at this. This is a pamphlet. It's the Ball Blue Book. This was sent to me by a subscriber friend. Now isn't that something? And you can tell. It's probably, if it was just in her use, she used it a lot, or if it was passed down from generation to generation, they used this book. But let me see. I'll have to turn this way so I can look at it. It says, I'm not sure, but it does say Ivy's Grocery, or I can't really tell, but it's in Fort Worth, Texas is where it's stamped right here on this edge. Miss R.M. Bradley. We don't want to put her address on there. So you can see it says published by Ball Brothers Company, Muncie, Indiana. Let me see down here. It says the copyright. It says the copyright is 1944 in really little letters. But most of us that can have the Ball Blue Book or the Ball Book of Canning. And you see the price on this was 10 cents. 10 cents. That's way before my time when anything was 10 cents. Now I do remember penny candy and 5 and 10 cent candy, yes. But let's start at the beginning. And it tells you the primer of canning terms, what terms mean. And I'm sure that the Ball Book of Canning has changed over the years. I know it has. But it's fun to look at the old ones because they are different. And of course, back in this time, I'm sure the USDA approved methods was a little bit different, but they may have still be the same, I'm not sure. But this even tells you how to can hot pack. It says all game, birds, rabbits, squirrels, and venison. So it was even in it back here. And I think the pictures are so neat, the pictures in these old books, the canning books. A lot of the older cookbooks don't really have pictures in them, and some of them do. But most of these little pamphlets will have pictures in it. Tells you peaches for cold pack, peaches for hot pack, peaches in the open kettle, peaches baked, pears, juice, how to do juices, vegetables. And here she even sent me some recipes, and I keep them in here because this is, and I need to do this next summer especially. This is Dairy Queen ice cream, so I need to do that. And she sent me a wonderful letter, and I keep it in my book. Tells you how to make and pressure can clam chowder. So it goes on and on and on. But is this not a neat book to have in my old books, arsenal of old books, especially it being an old canning book. I just love it. It's so neat. Now this one is not so old, but this is a Jiffy. Do y'all remember these little pamphlets? Jiffy mixes. Everything you can make with your Jiffy mixes. And I used to use Jiffy mixes a lot in different recipes. I don't as much anymore. I guess because I don't cook as much as I used to when the kids were young and everybody was around home. And, you know, a lot of our families have passed away and there's not as many get-togethers, and that's so sad. But I remember making several different recipes out of Jiffy mixes, don't y'all? And I'm sure that some of y'all still do. And I probably need to do some recipes out of here. If y'all would like to see some recipes out of the Jiffy mixes, just let me know in the comments. I think I keep probably a couple of boxes every once in a while. In fact, sometimes I think I keep them long enough I end up having to throw them away because I don't use them anymore. But there is a lot of neat recipes in here. And you know, sometimes, and I have done the Hush Puppy out of the corn mix, and they're really good. They're sweet, but they're good. Put a little onion powder in it and stuff in it, or chopped up onion, and I really like them. The kids always did too. They have like barbecue cups, savory pizza squares. Here's some corn fritters. Cheese biscuits, breakfast biscuits, of course. Then you've got even a fry batter. Now, I've never done the fry batter out of the Jiffy. Have y'all ever done it? I'm sure it tastes really good. I got a Cajun batter mix. Now, I've made this before. In fact, I think, did I do a video on this? I think I may have done something like this, but it is the Impossible Taco Bake from Jiffy. Oh, it was from Bisquick, I think. It was their recipe. But this looks really good too. They even have the donut holes made out of Jiffy bacon mix. So there's just all kinds. Breakfast casserole, a meat roll, Belgian waffles, pizza crust, chicken and biscuits, and it just goes on and on and on. Cake pops. And this right here is called Heaven in a Jiffy. It says 3 packages of Jiffy Fudge Brownie Mix. Now, I have never seen Jiffy Fudge Brownie Mix. Have y'all seen that? Maybe they just don't carry that stuff in my part of the world. But there's all kinds. You got your Jiffy corn muffin mix, and you have your Jiffy baking mix, and then you also have one that I've seen that is a Jiffy pie crust mix and cake mix. But you don't see them around in my area. Do y'all have them in your area? So this is a really, really neat little book. And if y'all want me to do some recipes out here, just let me know. I'm going to show y'all this because this just really is something else. In fact, I almost want to put this in a frame. I want to frame this, and because I want to keep handing it down and not get tore up. Do you see the picture on this? Isn't it beautiful? This is 65 delicious dishes made, it says made with bread. Now can you imagine? I've never seen a cookbook like this. And it's by the Fleshman Company, which the Fleshman yeast. A lot of us use Fleshman yeast. So I have looked through this 100 times because I love this little pamphlet book. Now, it says containing tested recipes compiled for the Fleshman Company by Marion Harris Neal, author of Economical Cookery, Salads, Sandwiches, and Chafing Dish Recipes, and How to Cook in Casserole Dishes. The copyright on this is 1919 by the Fleshman Company. So you can see how long even Fleshman's Company has been around. Now I've looked at this so many times, and I'm just going to tell you that there's very few recipes that I would probably do in here, but a lot of these recipes are really frou-frou recipes, but it's such a neat book. It's such a neat book. But it starts out by, just for instance, bread and bacon. If all you got's bread and bacon, it tells you what to do. It tells you slices of bread that are too old to be eaten with butter. It says slices of bread that are too old to be eaten with butter may be cut into squares and fried with bacon for breakfast or supper. They absorb the fat from the bacon, which would otherwise be wasted, and will serve to make the dish go farther, as children relish fried bread quite as much as the bacon. Moderately stale bread also does well for making toast, the perfect combination of which depends on the slow withdrawal of superfluous moisture from the bread. So it's telling you how to simply take bread and a piece of bacon and make you breakfast and a supper if you had to. Toasting up that bread in bacon grease. I've never done that, but you know what? I don't know what'd be bad, because I put bacon grease in the bottom of my pan when I'm making biscuits, so I can see where that would taste really good. But it has a lot of neat, like crab toast. It even has cheese toast, oyster toast, Portuguese toast, milk toast. Now milk toast was a Depression era recipe. And it has different kind of fritters, and it even has different kinds of, now what I was interested in too was, let me go back, see if I can find it. It tells you to freshen stale bread. To freshen stale bread, dip it for a second in cold water or cold milk, and then rebake it in a rather cool oven. One of the best ways to heat rolls is to put them in a paper bag in the oven for a few minutes. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. This right here is stuffings on this one page. And a lot of y'all up north, y'all do stuffing instead of dressing. And I make my own bread crumbs and just stuff like that. So croutons, I make my own croutons and breadcrumbs. But what they're calling this, fresh breadcrumbs, to dry them in the oven. And then it just gives you different stuffing recipes. So I thought I may try some of them sometime. But this is just something. This is the sweetest book, and I'm thinking about framing it. What do y'all think? Do y'all think I should frame it? I do. It's beautiful. And here is one that I think is so neat, and it says, today, what salad, what dessert? Jell-O brings dozens of answers. This is the old Jell-O pamphlet book. That's the back of it. Let's see. Oh, this one dates back, I guess what it's saying is 1926, but I'm not sure how far back it really goes, because here, I'll read this to you. It says, at 7 great national expositions, Jell-O has won these awards. Louisiana Purchase Exposition, St. Louis, Missouri, 1904, highest award, gold medal. The Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition, Seattle, Washington, 1906, Grand Prize Award ribbon. Panama Pacific Exposition, San Francisco, California, 1915. It got the highest award, Grand Prize, Medal of Award. Over here, Lewis and Clark Exposition, Portland, Oregon, 1905, highest award, gold medal. Jamestown Tercentennial Exposition, Norfolk, Virginia, highest award. That was 1907. Panama Pacific Exposition, San Diego, California, 1915. Sesquicentennial Exposition, I didn't say that right, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1926. So this goes back as far as 1904, y'all. Jell-O. And look at the rest, and look at the pictures in here. Paradise pudding. I'm probably going to do some of these desserts sometime. Does anybody like gelatin? I do every once in a while. We don't eat a lot of it, but especially during the summer when you just want something cool and refreshing, you know. I like eating a little bit of Jell-O, different kinds of Jell-O, and I have some pies made out of Jell-O. I mean, it's really neat. So what a neat little book. This one here, look at this, how sweet this is. It's one of them little pamphlet books. Quaker Oats. Quaker Surprise Recipes, 32 new recipes and pictures. Now I did not find a year on, or copyright on this little book, so, but it has some neat little, with Quaker Oats. It's got the apple crisp, heavenly pie, angel wings. It's angel wings, yeah, it's a cookie. I'm looking at this upside down. Peekaboo cookies, Radiant peanut butter cookies, peanut cookies. We may have to do some of these. This will be a good little book, old book, to do some recipes out of, cooking with our cookbooks. What do y'all think? Date fills. Now I love date cookies. I really do. I remember my grandma making them. So this would be a good one, yeah. So anyways, that's a sweet little book. Have y'all ever seen one of these, or do y'all remember them? I need to look up and see what, maybe if I can find out what year this little book come out. Of course, here is another one that I loved when I got it. It's a Hershey's Cocoa Cookbook. Y'all, I can't even talk today. Not sure. Let me look. Copyright on this one is 1979. But I don't know, you know, when the book first came out, I don't know. But it was published by Western Publishing Company, division of Hershey Foods Corporation. And it just says copyright 1979. But I have looked through this little book, and and there's several recipes, of course, out of here that I want to do. So this is going to be a good one too, to do some recipes out of on our cooking out of our cookbooks on Friday. Let's see, this was another one given to me. A little pamphlet cookbook. This is the June edition from 1957. So when this really was came out and published, the home office is in New York. The head office, San Francisco. It says Canadian head office, Ottawa. Is that Canada? Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. Seems like I remember commercials about Metropolitan insurance. But it's a Metropolitan cookbook. Let's see. Yeah, it says 1957 in here. But this was the edition. This one says edition in March of 1957. Some of the pages are stuck together and I'm not, let's see. I'm not going to be able to do those because they're too stuck and it's going to tear them apart. I'll have to work on that. Well, a lot of them are, aren't they? They must have got wet or something. But anyways, it does. It has a lot of different kinds of recipes. And I'm going to have to go through here and unstick the pages. I've never heard of this. Beets, California. 2 bunches of baby beets. I love baby beets. 1/4 cup of butter. 2 tablespoons of grated orange peel. 1/4 cup of orange juice. Now this sounds really good. Because I love baby beets. So anyways, and there's Harvard beets. Yeah, we'll have to go through this. I'm going to have to work on this book, though, with all them pages being stuck. I didn't realize they were all stuck like that. But have you ever seen this little pamphlet book before? That's a really neat one, too. This one was given to me. Family Living. Holiday Favorites, Fall Sweets. Oh, Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's see if we can find something on this. Well, I haven't. This does look like one of them pamphlets though that you'd find at the at the beginning of your checkout. I haven't seen any kind of date on it yet. Ooh, I bet this got some really good candy recipes and cookie recipes. Candy corn brittle, yum. You talk about sweet, because you know how sweet candy corn is, pure sugar, but oh my goodness, I bet my grandkids would love this, because they love brittle and candy corn. Of course, I wouldn't make it all the time. I'd just have it maybe during the, Thanksgiving, or maybe at, during the fall. When candy corn comes out. I may have to try that. Candy corn brittle. If y'all would like to see me try that recipe, I hate to turn these down, but I'm going to, because I didn't bring me nothing to mark anything. Here's some chocolate pecan pralines. Chocolate spiders, cookies and cream candies. And I got a cran raspberry relish. That sounds really good. So you would use whole cranberry sauce. You would use a jar of raspberry jelly. A package of unsweetened frozen raspberries, thawed. Mandarin oranges. Crushed pineapples. Now that sounds really good for Thanksgiving. What do y'all think? Cran raspberry relish. Let's mark that one. Let's put a little ear on that one. My grandma would get me if she seen me doing that to my cookbooks. Here's a cinnamon snack mix that will be good to make ahead of time and maybe give out for your little trick-or-treaters that come by. They have a chocolate pizza. They have cinnamon sugar pretzels. Honey almond popcorn sounds good. That really sounds good. So, this will be a book that we will be making. Cupboard cookies. Cupboard cookies. Cupboard. It's probably everything that you've got in your pantry. And you know what? This almost sounds like my mother-in-law's dishpan cookies. And if it is, they are the best. I think I'm going to earmark this one too. Now here's some pumpkin cookies. That looks good. Orange drops. Well, there's just all kinds. We're going to spend all day, I think, on this book. And I think it's because I love cookies. But this cran raspberry relish has really got my eye here. Would y'all like to see me make that? Just in case y'all might want to make it too. Here they've got a recipe for pear honey. 7 cups of peeled and cored chopped ripe pears. 4 cups of sugar. 1 can of crushed pineapple. Now I've never heard of banana butter, y'all. Cream syrup. Orange fig preserves. Now that sounds delicious because I love fig preserves. I've got a fig tree, a huge fig tree that has yet to produce, and I've got to figure out what is going on because it's going on about 3-4 years old. And I had 2 in the back that for some reason they were small, but do you know they produced a few figs and then they died. We had a hard frost. Well, freeze. We had a freeze a couple of years ago and it killed both of them. Here's a coconut chocolate meringue pie that sounds delicious. Yeah, this is going to be a book that I am going to keep out for sure, and I'm going to be doing some recipes out of this. This is Family Living Holiday Favorites Fall Sweets. So you can see that even these little pamphlet cookbooks that you find that most of us could afford, they have really good recipes. And you know, I guess one of the reasons that I really like the little pamphlet cookbooks a lot of times was because, you know, and I love them. I love my big, thick cookbooks. But half of the stuff in there you're not even going to cook. But a lot of these little pamphlet cookbooks, you know, you're going to, there's not so many that it's overwhelming is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to keep that back for sure. Now this is an older pamphlet cookbook. You can see the picture. That's the back of it. Quick dishes for a woman in a hurry. 322 recipes in 30 minutes or less. Do y'all believe that? I should have had this cookbook out when I was still working. 30 minutes or less. I love these. Look at them. They're just in black and white. And nothing special about them, but lots and lots and lots of recipes. Let's just pick one out, for instance. Bacon wrap beef patties. So you're going to go up here and follow this recipe. Fork tender steak. What kind of steak are you using? Here's apricot and lamb patties. 30 minutes, 30 minutes. It tells you can have this done in 30 minutes. A lot of them I probably wouldn't even make. Now here's a 10-minute medium white sauce. But they're using a teaspoon of monosodium glutamate. I don't even know what that means. Y'all could probably tell me, but that don't sound good. So anyways, that's interesting. Here's a sunshine slaw that you can make in 20 minutes. Cabbage, carrots, lemon juice, grated onion, evaporated milk. And it's got that monosodium glutamate. What is that? Glutamate. I'll have to look that up because in my mind I can't think of what that is. It doesn't sound like it's good for you. Y'all may know right off the bat what it is. I'll have to look it up. But anyways, that's a neat little, another pamphlet cookbook that was given to me. What is this? Oh, this is shows you how to how to knit. Yeah, how to knit. Loop stitch. I wish I could do that kind of stuff. Maybe when I slow down a little bit, y'all think I can learn how to knit. Just sit around and knit and be happy and drink my coffee. That's really neat. Thank you, whoever sent this. Let's see, the copyright on this is, well, the copyright's 1975, but I don't know when the book was put out. But that's a knitting book that was sent to me. I didn't realize that. This was sent to me and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And it's called Clotted Cream. And you know, I make my own clotted cream here at the house. And I use it for a lot of different things. Let's see. It says first published 1999 by Tormark Press in Cornwall. So is that over in the UK? Yeah, this is Great Britain. So I remember who sent this to me now. And so this is Over the Pond cookbook, and they use a lot of clotted, they call it clotted cream. And this is just a book of clotted cream. Like your cream cheese. Am I right on that? Clotted cream, cream cheese, sour cream. Clotted cream. I may have to read this, where I need to be able to just read this one book by itself, and we can do maybe a history on clotted cream. What do y'all think? I think that would be neat, don't y'all? But I think the real deal, to get something so fresh and made that way, we wouldn't even know how to act. To have something, you know, so pure and so good. So I need to sit down and really read this. Maybe we'll do that sometime. If y'all want to read this book with me about clotted cream, and like I said, this book is from Britain. We'll sit down and we'll read about that. This is called the Spin Cookery Cookbook, Recipes and Instructions. I guess it's using your blender. And I cannot pronounce the name of it. But it is by the is it Oyster? Oster? It's Oster, yeah. It's the same name brand that Walmart sells too, I think, still. So they must have got this with their new blender. And it's got all these different recipes. It's for making butter, grating cheese, breadcrumbs. It just tells you all this stuff. And then it's got all these recipes in here to use your blender. Do y'all use your blender very much, you know, to make recipes, besides just maybe, you know, just certain things that we usually just always use our blender for? Sometimes I forget, you know, to get it out and use it for all these different things. Cakes, breads, cookies. Yeah. Well, that's a neat book. Anyways, that's using your blender to cook with. How about this one? The Bundt Cookbook. I remember these cookbooks. This one was $10 at the time. This is a pretty thick one, though. But, you know, I could always afford $10 more than I could, you know, $30 for sure. Sometimes I could afford $10. Sometimes I couldn't. This is a Bundt cookbook by Nordic Ware, the originators of the Bundt pan. There's over 200 cake, bread, muffin, entree, dessert, and salad recipes and sauces in here for $10. 1996. So that's cool. I bet there is some really, look at here, that's that tomato soup cake recipe, honey spice cake, chocolate macaroon cake, chocolate chip cake, pumpkin rum cake, sour cream coffee cake. Oh, there's a lot of good cake recipes in here, y'all. This is why I love these little cookbooks. I even have a molded fresh cranberry salad, mosaic salad, holiday ribbon ring. You know, I had a yard sale a couple weekends ago and I had a Jello mold. Now I wish I'd have kept it. It was an old one too. But, you know, I've not made Jello molds since I was a young girl, so. But, you know, let's bring them times back and bring some of them old recipes back. What do y'all think? They got a ruby cranberry sauce, a buttery blueberry sauce, California walnut sauce. This looks like a very good book. So, we're going to keep these out for sure. I mean, I'll keep all of them out, but the ones that we were wanting to make some recipes out of, for sure. Cookbook. Oh, I've got so many. And we're going to have to probably stop here in a minute. This is another one from the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company of New York. I'm not sure. Let's see. See if I can find a copyright on this one or a date. It says edition of February 1948. So this is 1948 February edition. So I've got two different editions. This has got cream of potato soup, cream of celery soup, cream of tomato soup, corn chowder. Now this would be, and they look like very easy, not a lot of ingredient recipes in here. So this would be a good one for us to cook out of, because a lot of us are looking for these frugal, low maintenance, very few ingredients, easy recipes that would feed our families or just feed us, and we don't have to run to the grocery store when we don't neither spend the money or whatever. And a lot of these old cookbooks are that way, because a lot of these old cookbooks are towards cooking out of your pantries. So this will be a good one to go back to, maybe to with it being wintertime, and we're going to be making soups and stews and stuff, so that's a good one too. This one was sent to me. This is a treasury of the world's almond recipes. Almond, the Blue Diamond almonds. It was 25 cents. How sweet. You can see the almonds came in a pretty little tin. It looks like they've got some anywhere from muffins to cookies to breads to puddings, different desserts, salads, and main dishes that you use almonds with. So that's a sweet little book. Let's see, this one was in there. This one was sent to me. And this is about home remedies. Over 600 remedies, I wish I could talk today. Over 600 remedies in animal care, cleaners, field crops, gardens, orchards, including many animal and insect pests. That'll be another one we need to look at sometime. That's a cool little book. Okay. This is the Easy Fermenter. Y'all like to ferment? I've always got stuff fermenting in my kitchen every day, and it has for years and years. So there's always something fermenting in my kitchen. So this come with, I think, did this come with something I think I ordered. I don't know if anybody sent this to me. They could have. But it's got recipes for zucchini kraut, and I'll read that to you. It doesn't tell you how many. It says large zucchinis, 2 tablespoons of sea salt. I mean, it's just like making kraut out of cabbage. And you're pretty much just going to grate your zucchini and do it the same way you would cabbage. It's got Brussels sprout kimchi. I don't care for a lot of kimchi. This one sounds really good. I might try it. This is apple cider vinegar, and I've always got vinegars always fermenting and going on in my kitchen. I've got videos of that. So it's got garlic in it too. Simple lacto fermented peppers. I don't know. I may do some of these. I may do one of these kimchis. I think Mr. Brown would like that. He does love sauerkraut, and you really need to eat a bite or two every day of sauerkraut. Whether if you eat it with a meal or not, you just need to eat a little bit. And so we may start doing some more ferment this winter, since we'll have time to do this, maybe. Last but not least, this was sent to me, and it's called Potluck Favorites. And you can see it says display until July. I remember these. This is 2021. So this one ain't very old, y'all. Dollar General. But this was sent to me. Thank you who sent it to me. I bet this has got some neat recipes in it too. I love cold salads. I really do. And this one looks delicious. Tomato and cucumber salad. I love pea salad. It says Mom's potato salad. I like looking at different recipes for potato salad because there's people that make it. And look at this one. This is a red potato and bean salad. And I bet that that's delicious. See, this is the kind of stuff that I like eating when it's hot outside and you just want something cool and refreshing. I love Waldorf salad. And I'm pretty sure I've got a video making that. Best ever potatoes, new potatoes, and sun-dried tomato dressing. Cornbread oh, I've got a video making cornbread salad. Refrigerator slaw. Creamy cucumber salad. Mini fruit salad. So all these recipes so far look delicious. Wisconsin cheesehead soup. Cola chili. Dr. Pepper beans. Yeah. We may have to keep this one out on top of and do some recipes out of here too, because these look really good. And I really need to start doing more casserole recipes, because casseroles is something that's cheap, that's frugal, and you can feed a big family with. You know what? Well, I better get off here, y'all. I've took up a lot of y'all's time, haven't I? Well, I'm sorry wasn't going to cook a recipe today. It's been a really busy week with canning and all that stuff. But I wanted to go through these books because, you know, and this is not all of them. This is just some of the little pamphlet cookbooks that y'all have sent me. But you never know when you're going to go through them, and just like we done today, and find some that you know that you're going to use, and we're going to be making some recipes out of some of these. So I hope y'all enjoy just looking through these, and I hope it brings back memories of going through that checkout line and either standing there while you're waiting and looking through them, or maybe even throwing one in your basket saying, I can probably afford this one this week. And it was a lot of fun. I remember them days. You know, it's funny how the years that were the hardest, I think back, and I'm going to try not to get upset, but I can think back the days that I had 4 little kids following me around, and their daddy always worked so hard. I mean, he always had job after job after job, and barely making it. We didn't live in a big house. We lived on a big farm where the kids were very blessed to be raised. There was a big old creek just down the hill. We had every kind of animal you can think of. They had a horse. They had horses. We raised cattle and goat, and we had sheep every once in a while. We had dogs and cats and chickens and ducks, and you just name it. And even having to go to the grocery store and just wonder if you know, what all can I afford this week, and having to make that list and only buy what was on that list and nothing else. The kids didn't get a package of Oreos, Little Debbie's. Every once in a while, if there was a little bit money extra, I would throw a package of Oreos in there just for a treat. And they'll tell you that same thing. But you know what? They grew up happy and healthy. My children were hardly ever sick. Ever sick. And I think a lot of it was because they didn't eat a lot of processed food. Because we couldn't afford it. They ate what Mama had in the pantry. And we ate a lot of wild game. Their daddy and Danny, you know, he has slowed down now in his older age. Back in his younger days, if he wasn't working, he was hunting to put meat in the freezer and fishing. We always had fish in the freezer. So, and I think back about how happy and unstressful, even though we were broke. I was a lot less stressed than I am nowadays, I can tell you. Isn't that a shame? I hate it. I hate that we have to be that stressed. I try not to be, I really do. I'm not really stressed about myself, though. I worry about other people way too much, and I'm just that kind of person that wants everybody to be happy. I want to make everybody happy, and I want everybody to be happy and to always be healthy, and to have a good life, I guess, because my kids had one. We had nothing. We had everything, but we didn't have much. And they were very happy children growing up. They didn't have any kind of internet, didn't have any kind of cell phones, didn't have nothing. But they had that big open field. They had that creek down the hill. They had all their farm animals. And they were happy kids. So anyways, wouldn't it be nice to get back to them days? We love y'all. And I hope y'all have a beautiful, blessed weekend. It has gotten cold here. But you know what? I'm ready for it. But what's funny is it gets down in the 30s at night. And you wish you had that wood cook stove. You know, blaring, just going. But then in the morning it starts warming up and it gets warm again, but it's just enough that you can still open your doors and your windows up, and it's okay in the house. But we haven't built no fire yet, not yet, but we're going to soon. So I hope the weather is good for y'all, and for all those that are still struggling and having a hard time with all these bad storms and hurricanes, believe me, you're still in our thoughts. And I know people in our area are doing what they can to help and to donate and things like that. So, and all y'all that have worked so hard to help these people, the Lord's watching y'all and seeing your good deeds, seeing your works for humanity, and He loves y'all for that. So always remember that God loves you. We love y'all. God bless everybody. We'll see y'all in a few days.